Fleet Admiral Ernest J, November 23, 1878, June 25, 1956, was one of the most influential naval leaders in U.S. history, serving as Commander-in-Chief, United States Fleet, and Chief of Naval Operations, CNO, during World War II. His strategic vision, iron-willed leadership, and relentless focus on victory shaped the U.S. Navy's role in securing Allied success in both the Atlantic and Pacific theaters. Below is a comprehensive overview of his life. Naval career. Pre-World War II King's 44-year naval career was marked by diverse experiences across surface ships, submarines, and aviation, making him uniquely qualified to lead the Navy during a global war. Early service 1897 to 1914, served as a naval cadet during the Spanish-American War, 1898, aboard USS San Francisco. Flagship of the Northern Patrol Squadron after graduating in 1901, served on various ships, including USS Eagle surveying Cienfuegos, Cuba, USS Cincinnati, Asiatic Fleet during the Russo-Japanese War, USS Illinois European Squadron, and U.S. Alabama instructor at the Naval Academy 1906 to 1909, in the Department of Ordnance and Gunnery and on the executive staff, gained recognition for his essay organization on board ship, showcasing his analytical mind, received his first command in 1914. Leading the destroyer USS Terry during the U.S. occupation of Veracruz World War I and interwar years, 1915 to 1939, served on the staff of Vice Admiral Henry T. Mayo, commander of the U.S. Atlantic Fleet, earning the Navy Cross for distinguished service as Assistant Chief of Staff, post-war. Connecticut, 1923 to 1926, oversaw the salvage of USS ES-51, 1925 at age 48, completed flight training at Naval Air Station. Pensacola, 1926 to 1927, earning his Naval Aviator wings. He viewed aviation as critical to future naval warfare, commanded USS Lexington, 1930-1932, a large aircraft carrier, and completed the senior course at the Naval War College 1933, promoted to Rear Admiral in 1933, served as Chief of the Bureau of Aeronautics until 1936, shaping naval aviation development. Disappointed in 1939 when President Franklin D. Roosevelt chose Admiral Harold Stark over him for Chief of Naval Operations, King was assigned to the General Board, a twilight tour for senior officers, Fleet Command 1940-19, for one resurrected by Stark. King was promoted to Admiral and appointed Commander-in-Chief. Atlantic Fleet, in February 1941, oversaw Lend-Lease programs to Great Britain and the Soviet Union and managed escalating tensions with Germany, including undeclared naval warfare in the Atlantic in April and July 1941. Met with Roosevelt to plan the Atlantic Conference with Winston Churchill at Argentia, where King and British Admiral Sir Percy Noble arranged U.S. Navy escorts for convoys. Halfway across the Atlantic, switched his flagship from USS Texas to USS Augusta for the conference, which carried Roosevelt to the meeting World War II leadership 194-11945. King's leadership during World War II was defined by his dual role as Comminge, December 30, 1941, October 10, 1945, and CNO March 18, 1942, December 15, 1945, making him the only officer to hold both positions simultaneously. He was the second most senior U.S. Navy officer, after Fleet Admiral William D. Leahy, and a key member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and Combined Chiefs of Staff. Appointment and strategic role. After the Pearl Harbor attack, December 7, 1941, King was summoned to Washington by Stark and appointed Comminge, assuming operational control of all U.S. naval forces in March 1942. Following Stark's resignation, Roosevelt signed an executive order naming King CNO, granting him unprecedented authority over operations, planning, and administration, promoted to Fleet Admiral on December 17, 1944. One of only 4 officers to achieve this rank, as a member of the Joint Chiefs and Combined Chiefs, King coordinated U.S. naval strategy with Allied forces, shaping global strategy. From the Arcadia Conference, 194-11942, to Potsdam 1945 Pacific Theater strategy, King masterminded the U.S. campaign against Japan, advocating for offensive operations in the Pacific despite the Allied Germany First strategy. He successfully lobbied for the Guadalcanal campaign in 1942. A turning point in the Pacific War selected Admiral Chester W. Nimitz to command the Pacific Fleet, a choice praised for its foresight. King's personnel decisions, including Admirals William Halsey and Raymond Spruance, were instrumental in victories implemented a system of 8-sea resupply and repair, enabling U.S. warships to remain deployed for months, a logistical innovation that crippled Japan's Navy and Merchant Marine credited the Navy's growth to 92,000 ships and craft and 4 million personnel by 1945. Leveraging America's industrial might to annihilate Japan's naval power, directed convoy escort operations and anti-submarine warfare, countering German U-boats. His decision to delay adopting British convoy tactics post-Pearl Harbor led to significant U.S. merchant fleet losses during the Second Happy Time, 1942, coordinated with the U.S. Army and Allies to support amphibious operations, emphasizing the importance of combined operations and amphibious warfare leadership. Philosophy King's mantra, "Do all that we can with what we have," guided his response to resource constraints, especially after Pearl Harbor emphasized initiative of the subordinate. Encouraging commanders to act decisively within strategic guidelines, believed in overcoming difficulties through action. Difficulties exist to be overcome. Advocated for naval officers to perform their duties without expecting recognition. Valuing duty and competence above personal acclaim, received the Navy Cross for World War I service and 3 Navy Distinguished Service medals for World War II. Leadership awarded a satirical Undistinguished Service Stripe by peers for his bold handling of Washington correspondence during a press crisis, showcasing his ability to manage public relations under pressure. Personality and reputation, was a polarizing figure, known for his abrasive demeanor, strategic brilliance, and uncompromising dedication. Retirement relinquished CNO duties to Nimitz in December 1945. As the Comanche position was abolished per Executive Order 635, retired from active duty in December 1945 after 44 years of service, suffered from poor health, and died on June 25, 1956. In Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Redden, forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more military, Navy, and geopolitical updates.